Good evening and welcome to Here's the Life with Zemrah and my better half, Ed. And we hope that you have been enjoying this warm weather today. The weather's just kind of hit us with this stifleness and this humidity. But of course, it's a lot better than the cold or the rain, which they're talking about rain. But anyway, we hope that you are joining us this evening and told people that we're going to talk about living your best life. And I think that a lot of people are not very, very clear on uh, what it is when we say living your best life. Do you really know what you want out of life? Do you really know what your best life can be? A lot of times when we start getting older, you begin to think, well, I've did this and I've done that. But have you really, really did the thing that really hits the heart? Are you really searching for that which really feeds the heart? Like we say, feed the brain here at IntellectualRadio.com. But are you really doing what it is that you really love? And I think about that a lot of times. I was working a job, a job that I can honestly say that I enjoyed working and always getting that paycheck. That was always a good thing. But what I love and what really feeds my soul, of course, is my music, and we know that.
There we go.
Yeah. And so a lot of times people tend to think because you're getting older or whatever that you don't have to really chase that dream, that you need to stop. And then, of course, my philosophy, we all know, as long as you can walk, talk, and breathe, you want to make sure that you keep it moving. And that is definitely a philosophy that I live by. You can, of course, still be jazzy, do your thing, and not allow uh, illness even. That's one thing I was even talking about, my brother Clarence, how, he's going through some challenges, but he keeps it moving. You say, go, he say, where? And that is so important that you continue to live life, that you live your best life, regardless of any obstacles or whatever. You find what it is that you enjoy doing, or even if you've done it before, make something new or add something to it, but search and really and truly live your best life, because I think that is so important. That is life. That's what life is about, living it. And a lot of times I think people miss that because they start getting older or whatever. And sometimes they tend, because of illness or you're slowing down or whatever, then you tend to miss that. So I always say that you want to make sure that you live that dream, find what it is, still think about what it is. You might even be getting ready to retire. And even if that's the case, you don't want to become a person that comes and sits down because you're retiring.
Exactly.
You want to make sure that you step back, think about it, and find what it is that makes you happy, completes you, and brings you joy, and even make some money by doing it. But that is so important. And I want people to know, and you start that out early in your thinking, what is it that I want to continue to do um, with my life? And a lot of people just miss that. So, what is it that you think that you want to do in order to live your best life, regardless of illness or lack of money or even lack of support? We don't always get the support that we really and truly look for and search for. Um, and think we might have. You might think that you have the support that you really need to make that move happen or whatever. Um, and you don't always get that. So, what is it that completes you, that would make you happy in living your best life? You have to really ask yourself that question.
That's the question that we do not ask ourselves soon enough or early enough in life. We just do what we're expected to do or what people give us to do and tell us what we should be doing. But that which you really love to do that feeds your soul, you feel you can't make any money at it. And you think that money is the primary thing. It's really not. No matter what type of job that you have, in your regular life that sustains you, you still should be doing something on the other side that you enjoy, whether you make any money at it or not.
Hmm.
So
That fulfills you.
you're right. That's right. That's why I tell young people, you go to a job, it's 24 hours in a day. 8 of those hours you're gonna be working. 6 to 8 of those hours you should be sleeping. You got another 8 hours. You should be doing what you love, doing something productive, something that gives you joy, something that feeds your soul. Find out what that is and do that. If you don't do that, you're just wasting time. And
Right.
you wonder where did life go when I never went after the thing I really love to do.
Yeah.
So first thing is find out what it is. And don't worry about if it makes money or if the family approves of it or not. Well, I want to be a comedian. Go for it. Hey, don't look for support from everybody. Look for support from the person in the mirror.
Right.
If that's what you want to do, go for it.
So you, Ed, you're looking at retiring. Right now, you still work. Um, you're looking at retiring in
October.
November. Oh, in October.
Mhm.
Okay. So what is it that you think that you would like to do after you retire?
Travel, see the rest of the world. I really would like to go to Africa, but I have a different take on retiring because I don't think you should really retire from life because life is a continuous learning process. You should
Absolutely.
learn something every day of your life, something new that feeds you. That because you are capable of retaining so much information that's unreal, billions
Absolutely.
of pieces of information that you can store, and you don't. And 10% is the only part of your brain that you use. You only use 10% of it. So learn something new, read a book, learn a language, travel, and forget about age because, like we say, age ain't never a number.
That's it. And that's real too.
And so retirement is just, I'm going to go back and sit back and watch TV for the rest of my life. I'm not doing that. Retirement means I retire from chasing that which just gives me support. I have to eat, to pay rent. Now that I got that fixed, I need to do something constructive like that that will help somebody else and leave a legacy of what you believe in behind. Because the younger generation was what you want to do. Find someone that listens, first of all, and teach them what you know. You don't have to be right. You ain't got to be brilliant. You ain't got to be a scholar. You don't have to be a teacher or anything like that. Just tell them what life has taught you, especially if it's right and if it's true, and follow your dream.
That's what I was just fixing to
And
say about dreams and how you, um,
you know,
if
you
there's something that you really and truly are dreaming of accomplishing that you have not done.
all dreams are real. If you
Absolutely.
think of it, you can do it because you have the power to create thought into matter. Thoughts are things. They're things if you think about them long enough and concentrate on them hard enough,
It
they
manifests.
will manifest in your life. They will just appear.
And that's what we always say, and that can be good or bad. So that's why you want to make sure that you keep your mind set on, I always
Which
say,
is
keep your mind set on the
which is
positive
my
and the
philosophy. Is
prize.
think about not saying anything negative or behind the word I.
I am. Oh, absolutely. You don't ever use that.
I'm okay. I'm just not feeling too well. Well, I was getting sick, or well, I had these bills. My car broke down. Don't say anything negative on the other side of the I. And the words that people tell you, how are you doing? Those are rhetorical questions. They do not require a negative answer. I don't need to hear about your problems. And you telling me just because I asked you how you doing, I don't need to hear it. That's why I never tell anybody. She said, what's your answer? My answer is always, I'm superb.
You do.
And that people don't hear that often. Girls say, oh, you are. I don't hear that very often. I say, yes, I'm fine. In my mind, I am. Now, you might think differently because you see me with a crutch or something,
Yeah. Or see you moving
a little slow.
unusual, slow,
So
or
that's your
whatever.
assessment, not mine. In my mind, I'm doing a lot better. And what I think is the only thing that matters to me. What do you think about you? What do you say to yourself all the time? Watch what you say when you say I. Because when you say I, you own it. It becomes yours. Well, I'm just short a little change right now. My money's kind of short. It will stay short. Why? Because you just said it. The
Yes.
brain only acts on positive impulses. If you say something, anything, it will give you what you say. If you say I'm lonely, you're going to be lonely a long time
True.
because that's what you just said. You don't understand the power of your brain. It is attached to the rest of the universe. There are 480 billion stars in the universe. That's how many cells are in your head, in your brain. 400 something billion. That can hold a lot of information. And
Absolutely.
you are giving it very, very little. You're not giving it anything to do.
So, do you feel that you have absolutely lived your best life?
No, I haven't even got to my best life yet. I got many lives. I have many lives. This is just one of those little cheap ones. This is just one. This is just one at the beginning
Okay.
of the stage of my development. And when this is over, I will move to the next one. So I never die. No one dies. There's nothing in the universe that does not exist.
But we're talking about present,
That
not
is present.
okay.
That is exact. That is now. You are someone. You are a version of yourself now. You will be a version of yourself after you leave this plane of existence. This is a vibration that's of very low existence. When it speeds up, you become something else. But you will never be a spirit without a body. When you get rid of this body, you'll get another one. You've been here before. And a lot of people will tell you, I feel like I've been here before. You have. And you're going to be here again.
Right.
So there's nothing to fear but fear itself. You're not going to die. You cannot die. It's impossible. And once you convince yourself of that, then you start to live.
So through that, that's how you live your best life
As soon as
because
you
you
as
don't.
soon as you find out what it is and create it in your mind as to what that as best life is, keep that thought in your mind because what you think about most of the time that's what you bring about.
That's true.
Develop it, frame it, picture it, give color to it, give life to it, live through it. See yourself walking in that life, walking in the house you want, the property you own, whether you got land and property and whatever, or you got servants or whatever. Don't limit yourself because it's all possible. And at one time in your life, in the stages of your life, you've lived those lives. If you did not live them, you could not think of them. So you actually, what you're doing on this life is trying to create what you've done already before. That's why you want to improve this life now. Because if you could not do it unless you thought of it, and you thought of it because it is in your mind, it's in the recordings of the Akashic record in your mind, which records every vibration in the world or in the universe. The vibrations never go away. Same way with God. God is a vibration on a higher level. So it gets a little deeper than that, but
I don't know how much more deeper that can get. My producer Wanda B said that was deep. Well, Pam always say Ed is deep.
yeah, but we are deep. We just don't know it. That we keep playing this little elementary game on this elementary level that we call life, which is nothing. We're not doing anything with our lives. You live and die and have done absolutely nothing to change the course of human existence.
That's why I said that we need to find what is and live
But
our best
you
life, and
have
we
to
need to
look.
decide what is that
But
for you. How does that look?
you have to understand that you have the power to do that. You can't do it if you don't think you can do it. If you don't think you can heal yourself, you won't. But you have that power. Physician, heal yourself. You can do that.
May
But
I
you,
ask? I'm sorry. I
yes,
know you can do that. Well, I actually would love to hear your positive way of telling us this. there's no, is there an age limit? Like some people think I'm too. This morning I said to Earl, the founder creator of Intellectual Radio, "Oh, you should do that." And he said, "My time has passed for that. I'm too old to do that." Is what would you say to that?
I would
Wrong.
right. I would absolutely say absolutely not. That's why I said the philosophy is age is nothing but a number. As long as you can walk, talk, and breathe, you keep it moving. To me, I just feel uh, like Ed is saying, you are what you think. That's why we have to be careful. That's why sometimes when people wind up retiring or deciding that they are too old, then they wind up sitting down. And I always say you got plenty enough time to lay down. You got plenty enough time when you're 6 feet under. So you want to take advantage of life and do what it's here for. Live it. And make your dreams come true as far as that. And I don't think there's an age limit on that. It's your spirit that gives life. And if you continue to think, well, I'm too old to do this, or I'm too old to make
No,
this
no,
happen, I'm getting ready to do my eighth. And that's what the industry of music does, makes you feel like you're too old to perform, or
no.
you this and you're that. I'm 75 years old and I'm getting ready to do my eighth
What?
Here's the Life
You're not.
concert October 18th.
You got to be kidding. You're 75. They are not going to believe it.
Absolutely. And it's like, people want to put you in a box and stifle you and say that you're too old. Now, one of the things I noticed, they're getting a little bit older on The Voice, but they don't let you come in there too old on American Idol.
Because you're a product and you're something that they can make money on.
And they don't do nothing with
and-
you anyway, for real. I mean, The Voice does a little bit better, or no, American Idol does a little bit better, but they should have you. I've got an idea, and I'm not going to say it right now, but I got an idea that they need to have something where you'll be surprised, absolutely surprised, how much talent right today that you have from 50 plus, 50 on up to even 80.
I wouldn't be surprised because that's where all the talent is. That's where the experience is.
Yeah. That's where the feeling is, where the experience is when you get to singing or performing. That's where the soul comes in
Yeah,
at.
yeah. See, let me tell you how great it is to be old, because you don't have to. You slow down because nothing panics you anymore. You're not worried as much as you used to. Things that used to
You're a lot
worry.
more mellow,
Well, your
like Stella.
understanding is better, and once you get that kind of understanding,
You don't let as many things bother
say
you.
get wisdom, get understanding. But the first thing to do is get some understanding. When you get understanding, you know why something happened, not the how, but it's the why. And once you know the why, you don't panic. And once I know, if you accept the premise that cannot die, you'll start worrying about age. You'll start worrying about, can I finish this project? Because you got other lifetimes to finish everything. Do you know this is just a stage? This is a stage in the continuous life journey that you haven't even thought about. On a spiritual level, we have to start thinking of things on a spiritual level, because that's where the answers are. When you stop talking and listening, that's where all the answers come. When you get peace and quiet and stillness in your life, that's where all your answers come. And if you ask a question, you always get an answer.
And that's true.
You always get an answer if
If you're listening,
you're listening. But
I
if you ain't
agree.
listening,
You'll miss it.
you'll miss it.
I was looking, and you probably saw this lady. I think she was on Facebook, 105, and she's still cooking for herself. She lives by herself, still takes care of herself. A friend of mine, Red, really sweet sister. Red, our
Hmm,
bartender.
yeah.
Just we just love her, and she sent that. Yeah, that she put that on Facebook, and she said, "This granny, she still cooks, still,
That's what she should. There are places in the world where
exactly."
that is not unusual. Long as you've kept your body in shape, you can do the things that you can take care of yourself. I mean, you're in your hundreds. Well, what happened when we were living to be 2 and 3 and 4 and 500 years old? What happened
Yeah.
to those the Atlanteans that lived 1700 years. He ruled for 1400 years. What happened to those people? They came from another planet. No, they evolved to their higher level of existence. We are still evolving, and we can't get out of this primitive stage. We're still trying to figure out food stamps or something. It makes no sense. It's silly. We still drive around in cars and polluting the air and the food and the water. That's ignorant. We still have wars that should be outlawed. Wars on the existence of the earth with human beings on it should be illegal. To kill another group of people to get their stuff and then take their stuff and put it in a museum. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Which is what the Pope just declared recently, that what we did to Africa was a sin, which he excited the whole uh, community about saying that because he admitted something that was true. He admitted a sin, and the only way to admit a sin to obliviate it is to repent. And we don't want to do that, and the world will not do it, which is why they're going to punish for it. If you
Yeah.
do something wrong, you should say, "I'm sorry, I did it." That's all you got to do,
Yeah.
and we can't do that. And once you do that, that's when the healing begins. Because all the stuff that you took from other people and you've killed other people in other wars and thousands of people died for no gain because nothing changed.
Yeah. Well,
We,
that's why it's important that we understand that living your best life and finding what that is. Wanda, do you feel like you're living your best life? I know you have still a whole lot of because you're very gifted and talented. Have you found the things that you really, really want to accomplish and do?
I was just thinking about this as I was thinking as you all were talking. I am so blessed and honored to have you guys back on the air because I was thinking to myself, God, you knew I needed them back to hear these things.
We
You've
love.
given me exactly what I needed to push me forward. Thank you. That was
Yeah.
to you and to God. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this as you were saying it, and I was thinking, I wonder what, because I've recently, for the people to give you the back history short, had a health scare, and to think I was doing something that I loved, and now that they say your health may not allow you to go back to it, that's why I thought it was very encouraging to think, well, I can find something new and do that, and not
yeah,
be so sad that I can't do something that I thought I loved doing.
Right, because you're
exactly.
still here.
Yes, and I still am. And what could I do next? And not thinking that maybe I should just be happy that what I had,
And
and
move
No,
on
and move
and
no.
on.
find
But
something.
what? And so it's very inspiring to feel like I can still find what that is. I just got to go to work finding what that is.
Exactly.
That's all
And
you.
round two, like what moves me now, because that's not the only thing, I'm sure. And so I do feel that, but got very nervous until today on the Here's to Life show with Zemrah Ed. Was very nervous that could that have been it? Like, do I get another one? If I had something I loved, do I get another opportunity? But as dear
Oh,
Ed, who I will say that the things Ed says on this show usually go through my head and all my some down times. What people think of me is not my business. I say that to myself and say thank you, Ed. Whenever somebody else says something that I was negative, I go, that's not my business.
Yeah.
Not my business.
Right.
And
Right.
so today I was thinking, okay, Ed is giving me some more jewels to keep in my repertoire to keep saying to myself. Because sometimes you need to know the positive things to say to yourself. You know all the negatives,
yeah, right,
Right.
right.
but sometimes people need to help you think, how to come out of that, how to pivot, how to go a different way. So I don't even know if I answered your question.
But you did because you know the track that you want to be on and that you know. But that it is. It's just so true a lot of times, and that's why I say we have to think and just take a quiet moment and just think. And like Ed was saying, God always provides the answer.
You
He's
ain't
just
listening.
awesome, but we don't
We
always
ain't
listen
listening.
and tune in.
If you put a question out there, you're gonna get an answer.
You do.
You might not like it, but it's gonna come and tell you the truth that you already knew in the first place. Cause why? Because you're a child of God and you think alike.
Yeah.
So if you ask the question that you already know the answer to, you're gonna get it. You're gonna, oh, I didn't want that. Well, that's what you should do, but I
Yeah.
don't like it. That's the reason why you should,
Yeah.
because you don't like it. And my job is to make sure I test you to make sure you get it right. You cannot have anybody. Anything you create, you have to test it.
Yeah.
Anything you build, you have to test it. If
Yeah.
I build a structure, a porch, or a house, I have to test it and see will it hold the weight. Will it take the weather? So if he builds a spirit and a person and give it everything it needs, it turns out to start looking around for other things to look for. And I said, wait a minute, everything you need, I put inside you.
And that is so
You're
true.
looking in the wrong place, dummy.
You just have to tap into it.
Tap into it. He said, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, think about it. There's a million things in the universe to do. You just need to listen for one of them.
And all of us have a gift.
Well, it gives
All of us.
the information goes out to everybody, but only a few people will listen to it. That's why when you think of something, you say, "Oh, that's a good idea," and then 2 days later, you find out somebody already built whatever it was you wanted. You
Isn't
say,
that
wait
the
a minute,
truth?
I had that idea last week, but you didn't move on it.
Yeah.
Somebody else did. The ideas they're not prejudiced. They just go out to the people who are receptive. You have to stay receptive. That's why you have to take care of your body. That's why you take care of your mind. You can't cloud it with drugs and food. You have to be ready to receive the message at all times because you never know when the message is coming. It doesn't tell you when it's coming. So put it out there and then clean yourself up and wait and be patient and don't have to answer everybody's criticism of you. You don't have to say it. Sometimes silence is the best is the best response.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
people
That's
say something to
always.
me I don't like that I know better and I know them and I know what they say is not true. I wouldn't even question. I go, okay, whatever you say, and I move on because I need to save the energy. I can't waste it on you, and you're not even listening, and you don't even know what I'm going through. So why should I try to explain to you? You don't need that kind of support. You really don't need it. So you have to talk yourself into it. I don't need that person to believe me. As long as I believe it, me and God working on it. So why should I have to worry about what you think? That's how people discourage you. You tell them what you want to do, which is the worst thing to do.
Absolutely. You
Tell them tell
always
them what
keep
your
it to
tell them
yourself.
what your life plans are, because they'll destroy it
Yeah.
in a minute. And you go, like, oh, that was a bad idea. No, it was a good idea. You just let them talk you into it,
Yeah.
which
That's
is
what I've
crazy.
always done. If I have for anything that I've ever done,
I
I keep it to myself
just
until I pull it off. Anytime and then they look up and here comes the book or here comes the jewelry
just do
or
it.
here you just do it. And because people can be
Because you
discouraging.
are a creative being. You are made by a creator. And that's
And
what
we all are.
and people who are not creative sleep. You know how tired people are when they don't not do anything? They're always tired.
Talking to
When you're always tired, your brain will give you nothing to do. Because it wants to leave you, which is what it does every night. To get rid of you so it can go into the universe and be active and be part of the universal answer. That's why you sleep, because you don't do anything. And your spirit gets bored. And it says, this person ain't doing jack. It says, I'm out. So every night when you go to sleep, your spirit leaves you. It goes to the universe to get re in charge, to charge itself up. Because we're not doing anything. That's why people who are always busy and always creating stuff, they don't get tired. They don't even get hungry. They can be
and
working.
that's
They
the
can, they can
truth.
work to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning and never even think about it. They look up at 3 o'clock in the morning. They're still working. They don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
Creativity wants to do stuff.
Yes.
You don't need that kind of help. The scientists say you don't need but 6 hours of sleep, and 3 hours of REM sleep is really all you need. I found that out in the military. You don't sleep when you're on guard duty. He said you get 3 hours. That's it. So you better get the cracking and stay asleep, because this is all you're gonna get. Because the enemy used to wake us up at 3 o'clock every morning. 2:30, they bombing us. Why? Because they want to break your sleep. They don't want you to get any sleep, because they know once you up at 3, you up for the rest of the day. You can't go back to bed.
And speaking of that too, Ed is getting ready to do the
Honor
honor
flight.
flight
What's
for the
that?
veterans, where
Oh,
he is going. He leaves early in the morning, and they will all expense everything paid for, and he gets an opportunity to go to Washington D.C. He was chosen for that, And it's he went through a lot. He had his reservations on it, but it's an opportunity, for him to kind of, like he kind of described it, because he was kind of apprehensive, but it's an opportunity for him to have some closure. And he goes in the morning and comes back tomorrow evening. And one of the things that that's why it is important to live your best life again, because like he was saying, um, he didn't want to look at the wall. They have a wall at this monument, and it has where a lot of the guys, all the Vietnam guys that passed, that got killed. And he did not want to look and see some guys that he thought had gotten away, but they really hadn't. So I just told him, I said, baby, go. You don't have to do that. You don't have to look at the wall. Just go. Uh, uh, and that can kind of, as he described, kind of bring closure and just embrace the opportunity. He's going with about three of the guys from your veteran group, right?
Right.
And but it'll be all veterans going on the plane. The plane has been chartered, and they'll feed him breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and it's something that I think will be good. Ed is a different kind of spirit, so he does not.
Well,
He can,
to me, it's like a memorial service.
and I don't want you to look at it like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you don't want to look at it like that. Because we talk about that. That's a piece of negative, and that's what you sitting up here saying now. So you can't do that.
History, in fact, is not negative. It is what it is. That's all.
Okay, I'll accept that.
So it doesn't always have to be good, but that's what it is. And so when I think about how wasteful it was, all those lives, and it accomplished
In the first place.
Yeah, and it accomplished nothing,
That's
and it
true.
never does. So that's why I say intelligence has to grow and take over the world eventually. When smart people do the right thing, and that which does not give life should be eliminated, which is the smartest thing to do. If it does not give life, it has no use, which is simple.
That's true.
But the truth is always simple. We just don't want to adhere to it.
Yeah.
As you can tell, my voice is coming back.
I see. It's coming back slowly but surely, but that's because, again, of your mindset. Because he's got some challenges, but he's not addressing it. He's not claiming them. He's not, and he's just not going to do it. Like he says, thoughts of things, and he's just not going to do it. Yeah, it's not. It isn't going to do that, and I have a lot of respect and admiration for that. And that's how you. Now, let me just ask you this: do you? And I know you do because you are very, very creative. Do you miss your contracting? Because if you don't, I do.
Well, I know you do.
Because I got to pay people to do the stuff that my husband used to be able to do. It didn't shorten tremendously, man. But I'm telling you, the brother is so creative and so tough. He still tries to do some little bitty things, but
Well, I don't miss the doing of it. I like to change things as I see them, or change them into the form of what I see, into my image that I like to see. And I miss that because I can't get anybody else to do it
the way you do it.
the way I do it.
And that is
And the
gospel.
ones that do cost you a very lot of money. That's why I appreciate excellence. So anybody that's going to give something really, really well and use the skill that they learn to do it, they're not going to give it away. It's not going to be cheap. Somebody tell me something that costs a lot of money. I understand why.
You do?
Because I understand what it took to get it that way.
Right.
Anybody else might understand it, but to get it perfect and to get it down detailed,
And
like
that's just what I was fixing to
like
say.
it's supposed to be, that takes skill.
Yeah.
And I respect that. And I don't mind paying for it because I
Yeah.
know what it takes.
Right.
So somebody goes, well, I paint your
If
room.
they're going to do it right. And
Right.
that's the key.
Yes, I'll paint your room for $100. The guy said, I'll do it for $3. Why you don't charge me $3? He said, because I know what I'm doing. And you'll see the difference. I can see it. Anybody else might not see it at all, but I understand detail,
Yes.
and I know what it takes to get it that way. So I don't mind paying for it.
Yeah.
So she go like, "Why you pay all that money for that?" Because I know what it took. And the guy respects that. So if he says I need more money, I just give it to him.
Yeah.
Like the guy who designed that kitchen, he said I gotta get some special wood to make this cabinet fit right. I need $50 more. I said, hey.
Oh, that's the beautiful thing of having the knowledge that you know what it takes to put in it, so you know it's worth it, it's needed.
Yes.
It's needed.
And then the outcome, and then it depends because you got a lot of people still that do exploitation too, but he can pretty much tell the difference because of the fact that he was a detail contractor, and so he knows.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did it because I wanted our people to know that it was available in our hands. That there are those of us who really know what we're doing, and we're not out to shiest you.
Yeah.
Because they very seldom will see a black man with a company that does stuff on a professional level.
Yes, and do it right.
So I had to kind of hold up the brotherhood.
Well, you did it well. Well, we're going to take a short pause for the pause because our minutes are going up fast, and hear one of my songs from Love Is Possible. And really it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes. This is one of my favorite songs from Our Love Is Possible. Lyrics written by Miss Pamela Wilkes, and the music by Zemrah.
You are my baby, my darling, my love. You are music to my ears. You are the beat of my heart. You are my joy, my peace, my love. You are the place my life starts. Yes, you are my inspiration. You are my happy. You are my tears. You are the sugar in my coffee, chocolate in my cake. Yes, you are. Now make no mistake, baby, you are. You are. You are the place my life starts. Yes, you are. You are daybreak news. And baby, with you I know I'll never be blue. You are the color in red. So bold, so bold, yes. You are, baby, you are. You are the place my life starts. Yes, you are. You are the wet in the rain, the hurt in pain. You are
I hope you know that that is one beautiful, beautiful tune. I did it for some weddings, and matter of fact, a sister that lost her husband, um, and she gave a memorial, but it was really a celebration, and I dedicated that to her from him. I mean, he's gone, but those are some words that he would have said to her. She said, and she just, it just was really, really a beautiful moment. So, those that are getting married, anniversary, any of that, that is just a beautiful song. You are. So, check me out on, all platforms: Pandora, Spotify, Amazon, just anywhere where you can get some good music. Check me out. Love is Possible is my latest CD, and we're gonna be coming out with some other music. I'm working on redoing my website, and got some good things coming up, and I'm pretty excited about that. That's why I say find what it is that can assist you or guide you to living a better life and living the true life that you really, really want to live. It's not hard. It's just taking the time to find out what it is at this stage in your life, regardless of what's going on. Find out what it is that really and truly will complete and make you happy. I just think that that is so urgent. And especially with the way things are going on in this world today, you can't concentrate on that because we have to make sure that we do things that we can control, and things that's not in our control, we have to just forget it and just live
let it go.
our
Let
best
let it
life.
go.
And I just stress that a lot. I'm appearing on the Wildflower Festival this coming Saturday on June 21st at 5:45. I go on, and I'm pretty excited about that.
And where is
That
that
is
now?
presented 31st to 34th in State. It's an outside
That's at the IIT campus,
festival.
right?
With
IIT.
IIT, but it's not right there, but it's in that area.
Mhm.
And it's presented by none other than Miss Annabella
Earl.
Bronzeville Diva, who is a sister that I have been loving and caring for forever, since the 80s. That's my girl. So she invited me to be a part of this wonderful, wonderful lineup. And so I'm very honored to be performing on Saturday again at the Wildflower Festival. Make sure that you come out. It's going to be pretty hot day, I think, but it'll be a great
Hopefully.
day because
Yeah.
she has a lineup that you won't want to miss it. It's a great, great group of brothers and sisters performing. I'm very, very happy to be a part of it. And then again, my concert, we are in the working mode for my Here's the Life #8. Uh, Here's the Life concert. And one of the things I want you to do is we have two people right now that we have a little short honoring. And that's why I always say age is nothing but a number. We have so many people that are older but are still living and enjoying life. And so, we have, the celebrities and all, get honored. Well, my thing is that, you get your everyday people, but not so your ordinary people rather, but not so ordinary. And we at Here's the Life concert, we recognize them. At least two, three, or four people we honor. Right now, I think we have one slot left. And if you have an opportunity to email me at Zemrah1 at yahoo.com, if you have someone that is sharp and older and still living life that you would like to recommend to be honored, I would love. They get 2 free VIP tickets, and they get their VIP meal, and they get an award for living life and kind of living up to my philosophy.
And being that example.
Right, being that example. We've honored some beautiful, beautiful people. So if you know of anyone that's close to you that you know that would fit that, we have one more slot left, and feel free to